Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Here, let's use Magic the Gathering Arena to look at my standard deck, which I do have assembled in paper and am using in kind of little events. But previously I had a mono-red mice deck, but playing that, it was very straightforward, a little bit too straightforward. So I decided to sort of modify it, make it two colors, red and green, just to give myself kind of more stuff to do, more decisions to make every turn. And then the reason why I went for red and green is because I pulled an Agatha's Soul Cauldron from a Wilds of Eldraine pre-release pack. I was wondering how to do it, and then I saw a deck list that did use this. And so I was like, oh, I can just modify my red mouse deck, put the Soul Cauldron in there, and get something interesting. It's still kind of aggro, but there are ways to do like burn damage directly to the player, and there are more decisions to make. So yeah, this has been fun. Unfortunately, gathering those Agatha's Soul Cauldron has been pretty expensive. It's maybe one of the most expensive cards in Standard right now. But I figure, I'll use them until they rotate out of Standard, and then I'll think about shifting the deck, or just shifting the cards to Pioneer or Modern. It's a very useful card in those formats as well, so yeah. But yeah, while it is Standard legal, I'll use it here. Alright, but basically the idea is to get out kind of cheap red creatures, and then I can use the Soul Cauldron to eat creatures from graveyards. If it's a very dangerous kind of reanimator target from the opponent, I'll get that. If not, I'll get a creature from my own graveyard, which has a nice ability on it. And so I ate the Voldaren Thrill Seeker, so that I can give my Hired Claw here the /ability to sacrifice itself to do direct damage. And yeah, that's a great way to do direct damage. And then there are lots of +1/+1 counters in this deck, so that's why I have the Ozolith included. Anytime I put a +1/+1 counter down, it'll give me an additional one. Alright, but before the attack, let's eat another Hired Claw to get another +1/+1, but it'll be +2/+2 because of the Ozolith. And then Hired Claw, that's kind of my favorite to get out first, rather than like the Hearthfire or something or other. That very popular uncommon mouse. Okay, so here, I will use the ability from the Thrill Seeker to sacrifice the Hired Claw while it has the high power, just to do good damage to the other player. And then up to now, I've been playing best of one, mostly, on the ladder. But since, all of the paper events are going to be best of three, I thought I would shift to playing best of three in Arena as well, just to get used to it, and then get used to the idea of a sideboard, and then changing in and out cards based on the matchup. Okay, then I took out a Goldvein Hydra, which I really like. It's very versatile. It can come out quickly and is small, or it can come out late and it comes out big, creates treasures. But yeah, here's my sideboard. I have some burn spells which can exile if they have like the Unstoppable Slasher or something that can come back from the graveyard. That's useful there. And then I have some stuff that can get rid of artifacts or enchantments in Haywire Might and Paw Patch formation. And then I have a case of the Crimson Cloak, I think it was. In case I run into any discard decks. There are kind of a lot of those at the moment. But like if I have no cards in hand, then that case card will let me draw, extra cards in the beginning of each turn, so that can be useful. And then in my starting hand, I want at least one mountain and then one creature that costs 1 red. So this is good enough. And then pretty low curve overall. Heartfire Hero, right. That's the scary uncommon. That is probably the best 1 mana creature in my deck, but I kind of don't want to play it immediately because it will be a magnet for removal. If I can use, or if I can get the opponent to use removal on like a Cacophony Scamp or something, that would be better. Okay, nowhere to run. Get rid of my Heartfire Hero. And then ideally, I would save the activation once per turn of my Cauldron to eat a creature to put on another one of my creatures. But if I don't have that option available to me, then I'll just take whatever is in an opponent's graveyard. Okay, not ideal, but we'll play the Voldaren Thrillseeker by itself. I would rather put the backup counters on another creature, but this works. Alright, they'll use another Nowhere to Run. That's fine. I actually want a Voldaren Thrillseeker in my graveyard so that the Cauldron can eat it. Okay, and then here's a discard card, Bandit's Talent. I only have land, so I have to discard 2 of them. And I've noticed that since moving to best of 3, there are more Japanese players. And then Standard is fairly popular here in Japan. Sometimes when I go into a scheduled event, it doesn't happen because there's not enough people gathered. But typically, more often than not, there are enough people. But yeah, the 60 card formats are more popular here. And then I feel like that when I look on Reddit or whatever, I see people talk about Japanese players. They say that, Commander's not popular, and that the 60 card formats are more popular. But I don't think that's the full picture. In my experience, a lot of players will have decks of multiple formats, and then Commander will often be one of the formats that they have. And so they might prefer Pioneer, or they might prefer Pauper, but if a Commander game will start, they'll pull out their Commander deck and then play that. Okay, so here I'm in a bit of a pinch. I don't have any creatures. So I'm going to use my Mirrex land to create a Phyrexian Might. In a pinch, this will work. I can start to put +1/+1 counters on it, I can equip the chainsaw onto it. Okay, end of the turn. Let's eat the Hired Claw since it has an ability. We'll put that on the Phyrexian Might, so now it can either sacrifice itself to do damage, or it can do the Hired Claw ability to buff itself. Let's put out the Ozoliths for extra +1/+1 counters. And we'll play the Hired Claw. Let's do the Cauldron now. Let's eat another creature. Alright, let's target the Might. We'll get to 2 +1/+1 counters. We'll attack with it. The poison I don't really care about. With this deck, I'm going to be doing more damage than... or I'll be doing damage more quickly to get the win than I would with poison counters. But yeah, it's just more important that Mirrex is a land that creates creatures. That's all that is. And then, oftentimes, I will be okay with just kind of letting attacks through. It's more important for me to keep my creatures just so I have more options to do damage. And then I'll just, out-damage them within a certain amount of time. Okay, Heartfire Hero again. wondering how to use my mana. I think Ozolith is a good choice here. I was also considering making another Might. Alright, I'm wondering why I made that choice. Oh, I think I only have one creature in my graveyard, and I want to save that for the Heartfire Hero. So I'll just get rid of the, their kill spell, just so that they can't get it back from their graveyard. Okay, and then now we'll play the Heartfire Hero. And then we'll use the Ozolith. Cannot do that instant speed, so I gotta do it now or never. Alright, and then with the double activations, Heartfire Hero will jump up to 5/5. And then last night, actually, I played some standard matches in paper. And I used Chainsaw a couple times. And then there were people that were watching the match, and they were like, oh, I didn't think Chainsaw was actually good. I thought it was just a joke card, but... Yeah, 3 damage for 2 mana, that's fine. And then it becomes an equipment, so I can target the Heartfire Hero, particularly, specifically, to get, you know, extra buffs there. So yeah, I think it's a good card in this deck. Alright, let's attack. Alright, they'll block with everybody. Okay, we'll sacrifice the Might with the Thrill Seeker ability. We'll do the 4 damage directly. And then we'll do the same for the Heartfire Hero. And then the way the hero works, it's actually going to activate twice. It'll get 1 from Thrill Seeker, and then 1 activation from itself. So it'll actually do double the damage, which is crazy. The Scamp will be able to do the same thing, so there are good chances for burn, direct damage, with this deck. Okay, that is my current paper deck for Standard. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.